Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Saturdays on Loner's Lane. What a great weekend for some, not so great for others. As always, you have Tyler to my right, Cody to my left, the Christmas tree behind me because it is holly jolly Christmas time and my favorite time of the year. By far, my favorite time of the year. I love this season.
Bah humbug.
Grinches. But anywho,
that's actually Mr. Scrooge. Bah humbug.
we've got a lot to talk about this week, a lot to uncover. We've got playoff football coming up. We've got bowl season coming up. Playoffs come up in 9 days. Well, 10 days. 10 days. The 19th kicks us off next Friday. It should be interesting, but a lot of things has happened over this weekend. And before we get to the games, we want to get to what happened Sunday, and that's the College Football Selection Committee's picks. Didn't change really at all. There's two spots that really changed.
Yeah.
Right. Ohio State for the first time since week 1 is not number 1.
Yep.
They're number 2 after they lost to Indiana. So they go to number 2. Georgia, which surprises me, stays at number 3. Anybody who watched that game Saturday at 4 would have thought that they would have jumped. But they didn't. That's okay. Texas Tech stays at 4 after steamrolling BYU. Oregon is at 5. Ole Miss is still at number 6. Texas A&M stays at number 7. Oklahoma stays at number 8. The argument is right here, Bama stays at number 9. Miami jumps Notre Dame to sneak into the college football playoffs at number 10, moving Notre Dame at number 11. BYU drops 1 after losing its second round to Texas Tech. Texas sits there at number 13, Vandy at 14. I'm okay with that. I know Texas has 3 losses. But that head-to-head has to mean something.
Yeah.
Their strength of schedule is a little bit tougher, and they've got the head-to-head, right? You lose to Ohio State. You do lose to Florida, I get, but you lose to Georgia and Athens. So I like Texas being there. Utah 15, USC at 16, Arizona 17, Michigan at 18. I think Michigan and Texas play in a bowl game that we're going to talk about. That would be fun. Virginia loses the ACC championship, drops 2 spots, the biggest drop of the weekend. You've got Tulane sitting at number 20, championship of the American. Houston at 21, Georgia Tech at 22, Iowa at 23. James Madison, winner of the Sun Belt at 24, and North Texas sits there at 25. So, I say all of that to say this. Virginia loses to Duke.
Throws a wrench in a ton of things.
It does. I
think even if Virginia wins, they still put Miami in. I really do. I do not think that they would have been like, hey, Virginia, let's go and put them over Miami.
You had to. They qualified because they would have been the highest. They would have been another highest conference winner. They'd have been higher than James Madison. So you had to.
That's true.
Here's the thing. By their requirements, their law that they put in play when they started the whole playoffs for 12 teams, and how the season played out, I think they got it right.
No. Alabama did not deserve to be in. I'll tell you this, the way they played the last 6 games of the season when they almost got beat by South Carolina.
So did A&M.
Let's talk about this. We'll do a schedule. They struggled they lost to Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. They struggled against South Carolina. They did pretty good against LSU. I give them that. And they struggled against Auburn. They get beat by Georgia. They get beat by 21 against Georgia. In the conference game, conference games are not going to hinder you. Look at BYU. Yes, they get beat by the same team twice.
And they dropped 1 spot. But if Alabama drops 1 spot, they're still in. Listen, Look,
They dropped one spot, but they didn't get in the college football playoffs.
Cody, I used to wonder how in the world, in the Wizard of Oz, someone who's completely brainless can speak, and then I sit here and listen to this bull crap, and I find out that's very likely. Come on, Tyler.
But go back to the standings. You said they dropped out. Well, technically,
they would have been out either way. They were at number 11 anyway.
But if you look at it, yes, they dropped to 12. If we didn't have this bull crap of a rule where you had to put a group of 5 winner in it, the highest
it's not a
ranking,
group of 5.
Well,
you have to have 5 of the highest ranking conference champions.
Yeah.
We talked about this just a few weeks ago. Go back and watch it. It's on tape. It's recorded on YouTube. You can see it. That should not be there. I agree.
I mean, if they earn their way in the top 12, go undefeated, beat at least 2 Power 4 schools. I mean, because that's pretty much all they're going to play anyways. I mean, if Tulane goes and beats Ole Miss the first time, and goes undefeated, beating teams handily, and earn their way in the top 12, 100% agree Tulane should be in.
Yeah.
That's if they do all of that. No, they get beat by 30.
Yeah, 45 to 10.
Something. I mean, whatever. They get beat pretty good.
35 points.
They get beat pretty good to an Ole Miss team who's in it. I get it. Who they open up with.
Ole Miss. Yeah, it's a replay. And then you've got
Alabama, Oklahoma.
Well, you've got James Madison playing Oregon.
Listen, like I said, Alabama did not deserve to be in. I will continue to say this. A lot of Alabama fans, Justin Nunley being one of them, saying Alabama does not deserve to be in. Comedian, yes, not a sports analyst like us. We're just here doing a podcast. I understand. But a lot of Alabama fans were shocked when they saw their name come in at number 9 over Notre Dame.
Absolutely brainless.
No, it's not absolutely.
You're absolutely brainless. You're going to punish a team who plays an extra game because of their overall season outcome. They were the number 1 team in the SEC at the end of the season. They won the regular season SEC conference. They have number 11. They are the toughest strength of schedule in the top 12.
Yeah.
And you want to leave them out because the
way they played the past 6 weeks.
The past 6 weeks. Tell me, Tyler, remind everybody of the Auburn-Georgia game.
It was a close game, too.
Remind everybody of the Texas A&M South Carolina game.
It was a close game.
South Carolina should have won that game by far. They went in halftime down 21 points. Give me a break. Everybody has these bad games. They beat Georgia on their home turf.
And that's the reason why they got in.
Absolutely. If they were like BYU and
if they would have lost the first time against Georgia and then go back and get...
Let the guy who has some brains talk.
I think what helped Alabama, and I'm going to be honest with you, as a Bama fan, I was kind of hoping our name would be left out, so I didn't have to watch another week of an offense who can't figure out any rhyme or reason of what they're trying to do. But after listening to Kalen DeBoer in his press conference after the game, not necessarily making excuses, because he said that they were the better team, and they are. They played 100 times better than we did. They were
Georgia
ready.
That was the best college football team all year that played on that football field.
100%. I agree, and I think they are a really good football team. But
and they're young.
And they are very young, and so one of the youngest teams in the SEC. But I think he said if give us 10 days, give us 2 weeks, 10 days, whatever, to get everybody healthy.
Yeah.
You've got two starting offensive linemen.
2 defensive guys.
2 defensive linemen. You got a tight end. Your starting tight end.
Your running back.
You got your starting running back. One of your top receivers. Your second string running back who played, but his exact words were, if you only knew what he's dealing with injury-wise, you would understand why he struggled when he does. You said, you give us 10 days to 2 weeks, and get us completely healthy and be better. I don't know this. He's never been on the injury report. And I hope and pray that there is something wrong with him, just due to the fact the way that he has played. Because you go from Heisman number 1 to how many teams are in the SEC?
16.
The number 16 quarterback in the SEC, and a span of 2 weeks.
He's gotten hit a lot.
Yeah,
and that's because they have to shuffle the offensive line so much because your starting center's hurt and he can barely move. Your starting left guard is hurt. He can't move at all. He hadn't even played. So they've rotated 2 guys in at left guard between Roberts and Van whatever his name is. All right?
The argument you're going to get, and I know if JC's watching, which I know he isn't, he has completely wrote off this year and has given up on everything football this year. But if he was watching, he would say, well, injuries are supposed to affect you. But these guys are expected to be back.
In the injury report, or in the report that he released today, every one of the guys that are not on the season ending, which is only J.C. Latham, a defensive lineman who had the neck injury.
Big defensive lineman.
He's out. He was out for the year. I think that's really the only one.
Fitzpatrick, but he was out due to.
So I think all of them. He said he expects all of them to be back, at least 80%, and most of them almost to 100%.
Well, Overton should be back. He was due with an illness. Who was the other guy? Collins. They're both due to illnesses. So that's 10 days, 9 practices.
But I think it's interesting if you go back and look at the things and what they, without a key player or coach. That wording in the whatever rankings that they do is really odd, and they didn't
do anything with Ole Miss.
They didn't do anything with Ole Miss. That really surprises me. Guys, you can say what you want. You can keep your offensive coordinator. You can keep your defensive coordinator, who's now the head coach, who's going to call the game from the box.
The head coach from the box.
From what I've read, he's going to stay in the box. But anyways, so I am kind of surprised. But that head coach, I know there are a lot of things going around right now just about him in general, but he's a heck of a football coach, and losing him is going to be big. Tulane's playing better, and Ole Miss doesn't have their head coach. Yes, their offense coordinator stayed, but I don't think he was really calling a ton of the offensive plays.
So, Cody, I think me and you were on the same page when we're talking about the group of 5 teams that are getting in because they won their conference. I think that's got to be dropped. They need to do an NIT playoff for the last 24 teams, right? It's hard to sit here and say that these are the best 12 teams because they're not. Absolutely not. Not even close. James Madison, Tulane, y'all have had a great year, but you just do not compare to the other 10 teams, and even 11, 12, 13, 14, or 15, you don't compare. No. So you lose a lot of good teams that are out, and Notre Dame, I get why you're frustrated. I understand the frustration. I talked to a Miami fan last night. Joey, I know you don't watch, but I talked to a Miami fan last night, and what would upset me if I'm a Notre Dame fan is you gave me hope all the way to the last. Like, you started out, yes, I lose my first 2 games of the season, but who are they to? Miami and Texas A&M.
By a total of 4 points.
By a total of 4 points. And where do they rank them, the first ranking?
Number 8.
8?
8, huh?
Yeah.
And they only dropped.
And all they've done is win.
By an average of 29 points.
And they've dropped.
Yeah.
And most of the drops, so you were at 8. So last week you dropped behind Alabama. This week you dropped behind Miami to number 11.
But that head-to-head has to be what played into...
Absolutely, but I feel like it should have been there the whole time.
Well, we say that. head-to-head probably had a lot to do with it in the final day. I'll stand by this, and I would argue with just about anybody on this fact that I think if Virginia wins, they get in, and Notre Dame gets in as well. Because then they have the ACC represented.
So you think they're looking at an ACC that's going to get...
They felt like they had... Not felt like they had to. They didn't want to go into a college football and not have at least the top Power 4 at some way represented. Is that right? That's just me. I think the way they had it all along, they had Notre Dame ahead of them. I know in the end they did it. I think they did it right just by the fact that they did beat them they beat them game 1 head to head. But I also know that Notre Dame had a freshman quarterback first game, and it was a close game. It wasn't like it was a blowout. And what have they done for the next 10 games? They've won. Now, granted, their schedule is not the toughest. I think they played one team that really amounted to a ton.
In the top 25. They have one top 25 win.
And that hurts them as well.
You're sitting here, and that is... They're not even in the top 25 anymore.
USC's not?
They didn't beat USC.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wait. Mm-hmm. They did beat USC.
Yeah, they beat USC.
That's their... Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the only one they beat. When was that, though? Yep. 34-24.
So, I mean, I do think that comes down to what they probably do. Like I said, the schedule's not extremely tough, but I think we all kind of agree, and a lot of people I've talked to says Notre Dame, if you want in,
join the conference.
Join the conference.
And that's...
And I hate it. I hate to say that way because that's a history. That's a history that they've always just been a non-conference. Well, that's fine.
But they haven't just the last 6 years.
Football is the only team out of Notre Dame
that is not
in a conference. Everybody else is in the ACC, I believe.
Yeah.
The rest of baseball, basketball, girls, like every other sport for Notre Dame except for football is in a conference. So why not go ahead, bite the bullet, get in a conference? But now you're having to play 8-team schedule or 9-team schedule in a conference. So you're playing Florida State, you're playing Miami, you're going to play North Carolina State, Clemson. You're going to play those top-tier ACC teams. And, hey, if we're in a conference and we're playing against a very potentially good Florida State...
They would be better off in the Big Ten.
Yes.
Because the ACC, I'm sorry, they're just...
I don't think Big Ten either.
It's a struggling place.
Who won the Big Ten?
Indiana.
Okay.
Yeah, Indiana, Ohio State, Michigan.
Ohio State.
And then Michigan. I don't think they might have finished.
Oregon.
I mean, so you're telling me, I think ACC 100%.
ACC.
But,
because they would be a powerhouse in the ACC.
I understand they'd be a powerhouse, but you're looking at that strength of schedule, you just...
Well, I'm not worried about the strength schedule if you go to the conference and win it, and as long as you're in the top.
But here we are talking about we need to get rid of the conference side of it and just do the best 12 teams.
I agree with that.
All right, ACC,
but if you go through and win all of your
ACC, Boise State, what they in? Can't remember. ACC. I mean, you're playing
a very heavy
ACC conference or schedule, anyways. Just join the conference. Mm-hmm. You're beating these guys anyways, except for Miami this year. Which next year, what's Miami going to do? We don't know because Carson Beck's going to be gone, unless he pulls a Diego Pavia and says, "Hey, I got 1 year of eligibility left." Well, no, because he played all those years at Georgia. He didn't play it.
So let's close out with this question, with argument back and forth. And this is going on everywhere. It's not just here on Lonas Lane. This is the argument you're seeing on ESPN, Fox Sports, the SEC network. You even have people who are saying Alabama should be out, Notre Dame should be in over Miami. They're a better team. We need to drop these group of 5 teams. And I don't know if I necessarily disagree with them. If you watch Saturday's game, absolutely, Alabama did not deserve, but you've got to look at the overall body of work here. And like I said, are you really wanting to leave out the number one team in the SEC for the regular season? Strength of schedule being the toughest in the top 12 by far.
Yeah,
and you've got Notre Dame and Miami who's sitting there at 43 and 44. But here's my question: looking at this bracket, who has the easiest path to the national championship outside the top four? Now remember, there was nobody in the top four who won
last year
their first week. They were all put out. Texas, Georgia.
Tennessee played.
Tennessee
played Ohio State.
Played Ohio State.
Boise State.
Mm-hmm.
And then was it
Indiana?
I don't remember if Indiana was in the top. Might have been.
So they all lost. So who outside the top four has the easiest path? Oregon.
I think
you have Texas Tech sitting there who look pretty good. Who did Texas Tech lose to?
It was a slip-up game.
It had to have been.
It was.
It was early in the season.
No, it was September. It was October 18th. It was Arizona State University, 26-21.
The team that Auburn beat.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, like I said, I do think that a potential Oregon team could sit there and make their way past James Madison, of course, you roll in, and then you're going to the Capital One Orange Bowl, and you got Texas Tech, who by no means is a pushover, and then potentially playing Indiana in this
Alabama, Oklahoma.
I think so. Because Ole Miss is going to struggle against Georgia. Texas A&M, if they are to get past Miami, will have to play Ohio State. And Ohio State right now, even with the loss against Indiana, it was a 13-10 score. I still think Ohio State is a potential national championship.
I fear Ohio State more than I do Indiana. And I've had this conversation yesterday, but Indiana is predictable. They are winning while being predictable.
Mm-hmm.
If a team is able to figure out how to beat that, Indiana's not going to be able to keep up. So defensively, they're predictable. Where Ohio State, they're not showing you what they're running. Their coverage is hidden up until the snap of the ball, and that scares me for anybody to play Ohio State. So, who has the toughest?
I think
Miami has the toughest.
Yeah,
road.
Miami against A&M. That's going to be a tough game right there. Texas A&M is at -4 right now, and really, if you want to look at it, Tulane. If you want to talk about that, Tulane. But I don't see.
I'm going to throw Tulane and James Madison out the wall.
Weirder things have happened.
I know.
But absolutely, Miami. If you're not counting Tulane or James Madison. But Miami is the next one.
Who do you think, Cody?
I think the easiest. I honestly think the best chance, not easiest, the best chance. I'm gonna go on a limb here and say A&M. I do. I think their offense is good enough, and I think their defense can cause issues up front. And so I think they would be one of the teams that I would say out of that group. But the hardest one,
my thing is,
it's going to be Ole Miss.
You have Georgia and Ohio State on that same side of that bracket, man. That's
tough.
That's tough. And let me tell you something. If it's Ohio State and Georgia going to the Verbo Fiesta Bowl, what a heck of a game.
That's
on January the 8th.
I know a lot of Georgia fans are hoping Miami has 2 upsets and they get them in the semis. I know
because they want to see Carson Beck. That would be very interesting.
That would be fun.
Stay tuned for that one. Hey guys, that's all the time we have for tonight. I hope you've had a wonderful Monday. If you're sitting there and you think we're a bunch of idiots. We want to hear from you. Leave us
Yeah.
a comment. If you like what
We
we're
are.
saying, let us know. Yeah, you've got Brainless over here. You've got the smart one over there. And I'm just sitting in the middle being the ringleader. And I absolutely love it. So enjoy. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you do, hit that like button. Give us a subscribe. And leave us a comment at the bottom. Even if you don't, leave us a comment at the bottom. Let us know what you think because we want to hear from you guys. But thank you so much. Hope you have a great day. And as always, it is Saturday on Lonas Lane. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.